The president of the French Council of Muslim Faith called on the French Muslims to be vigilant against any abuse by the far-right currents of the deadly attack of a Frenchman of Iranian origin in Paris on Saturday night. Mohammed Moussaoui pointed out that the tragic attack on foreign tourists can be used as a tool to de-escalate tensions and stigmatization by the supporters of the extreme right-wing anti-immigrant currents. Moussaoui also advised each Muslim to systematically register their complaints if they are victimized, urging them not to ignore any threat, insult or defamation. To discuss this further, we have Sheikh Mohammed Cyrous live with us from Canada.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah, Sheikh. What have been the reactions to this terrorist attack in French media and political circles?
Well, basically, the French medias are really trends to always condemn immigration and Muslims. It has been going on since the post-colonial history of Algeria. Basically, any events that occurred from a Muslim been emphasized on the media. So this event is the best tool for the medias to exaggerate and also take over other medias in France.
What more information has been published about this terrorist of Iranian origin?
Well, this person come from a family in Azerbaijan. And well, they immigrated in France about 25 to 30 years ago. They lived in south of France. They became French about 25 years ago. So the person, Arman, that his original name was Iman, born in 1997. He grew up in, in a suburb of France, of Paris. He grew up there. In 2015, he joined ISIS. So he come from a secular family, Shia, but he decided to, join ISIS ideology and Takfiri ideology against the Shia. In 2016, he's been arrested by the French authorities. He has been flagged by the intelligence services. The Ministry of Interior of France was very worried about his extremism point of view against Shia and against Christians. So he has been jailed in 2016 for 5 years sentence because he was plotting to kill someone. And he was released not long ago, maybe less than a couple years ago. And upon the release, he had to follow up with facility because he had some mental breakdown, and it seems that he's not really understanding many issues in life, so he had to take some medication. But many people who have this type of extremism ideology, they are flagged, so they have been, they have to follow up with authorities, and basically, this Daesh person wanted to do something big, so this is how he decided to make noise and to kill, unfortunately, some people.
Including the perpetrator, how many people have been identified as Islamist terrorists in France, and why are these people not arrested?
All right, so how it works in France, we have two types of a flag system. So we call it Fichier S, which is a file of people that they have to be under surveillance. But we have a second type, which is a little bit more targeted for religious extremism. So they work together in parallel. So yeah, in total, we have about over 30,000 people who are flagged in France. Out of the 30,000, maybe 1/3 are viewed as religious extremism. So either they are working or very active for ISIS or for Hezbollah. So these people, because the country is a rule of law, so there is no much they can do except just controlling and doing surveillance of these people. So unless they have information that they might do something criminal, they cannot arrest them. At the same time, the right wing are taking advantage of that issue in order to show that to the people that Muslims are barbaric and the immigration is not a good thing in France. But this is just a political, debate inside France. The election are coming up, maybe over a couple years. So they are working a lot to just show Muslim as barbarian and not civilized and not comfortable to live in France. You have to remember that France has more than 10% of Muslim. It's a huge community, and they are doing the best for the French economy, for the development in all aspect of the country. But unfortunately, there are some groups that don't recognize that, and they just take advantage of this, small criminal events, and to emphasize, over other event. We have a lot of Islamophobic, event in Paris that just came yesterday from Paris. I'm back in Vancouver now, and I can realize that in general, the French people are very open-minded, but the media are working a lot to put people against each other and to make a big deal for a smaller thing. But for that terrorist attack, unfortunately, that event is a big event. I'm not saying it's a small event, but the media are taking advantage to change the narrative and to put it in a different way. You have to understand that when you live in Paris as a Muslim, you will face the consequences of discrimination. You will have no issue to rent a very nice apartment. You have to live outside the city. For a job is the same thing. It's not because of your appearance, but your name and your background. So, of course, when you live outside the city and you feel excluded, especially when you have little bit mental issues, things like this might happen really easily.